Today we are going to see about Ashoka, who was called as the great emperor. So you all know who is called as an emperor. The king who is looking after a vast resource is called as an emperor, and Ashoka became a great emperor, Mauryan emperor. So this lesson teaches us about how Ashoka became the great emperor as well as why he gave up the wars. So we are going to see the incidents what hit his heart to give up the wars and battles to capture a particular territory. So the concepts in the modules are, first we are going to see about Chandragupta Maurya, Bindusar, Ashoka the Great, Ashoka's Dhamma, nature of administration, India after Mauryas. I also have some important questions in between the lesson, children. So listen carefully and try to answer the questions given in this chapter. So let us see about Mauryan dynasty in the year 265 BCE. Abbreviation of BCE is before Common Era. So in the year of 265. So you can see at the bottom of the map the violet color navy blue color is Mauryan dynasties. The area colored with blue color, navy blue color is the Mauryan dynasties, and blue color is the tributaries. You can see different rivers run through the country. So they were called as the tributaries. Tributaries means the small rivers which go and join the biggest rivers. So the blue colored are the rivers, and the starred area is capital city. So the capital of Mauryan dynasty is Pataliputra, and you can see the square shaped dots which come under the Mauryan dynasty, the other cities, and edicts of Ashoka and Buddhist sites. You can see the triangle shaped area becomes the Buddhist sites. So edict means authority of Ashoka. Edicts in the sense the authorities which are given to Ashoka. So the dotted areas, the round dotted areas are the edicts of Ashoka. For example, you can see the areas of near Madhya Pradesh, near Gujarat. Yes, then next is the Buddhist sites, which is Sanchi in Madhya Pradesh. You can see the triangle shaped area which is Sanchi, where we can see the Buddhist stupas, the statues. So let us see about the Chandragupta Maurya. So in Chandragupta Maurya we are going to see about Chanakya and sources of Mauryas, how the Mauryan dynasty formed. So Chandragupta, he overthrew the last Nanda king. So Chandragupta Maurya, he threw out the Nanda kingdom and founded the Mauryan dynasty. Chandragupta was the founder of Mauryan dynasty, and he owed his success to Chanakya's, his advisor, guidance and training. So according to his advisor named Chanakya, so you heard the name, right? Chanakya. So the name of our school. So Chandragupta, he adhered to the advices given by the Chanakya, and according to his guidance and training, he became successful in his dynasty. And Chanakya is also known as Kautilva. Chanakya is otherwise known as Kautilva. So Chanakya was a wise Brahmana scholar. Chanakya was a Brahmana scholar, and he had personal grudge against the Dhanananda, because before the Mauryan dynasty, the Nanda dynasty was ruling some of the regions in our country, and this Chanakya had a personal vengeance and grudge against the Nanda dynasty. So let us see about Mauryan dynasty in the year 265 BCE. abbreviation of BCE is before Common Era. So in the year of 265. So you can see at the bottom of the map the violet color or navy blue color is Mauryan dynasties. The area colored with blue color, navy blue color is the Mauryan dynasties, and blue. Next is Indica. Let us see about Indica. So another important source for Mauryan Empire. This was one of the literature which is another source for the Mauryan Empire, and gives detailed account of Mauryan administration and city of Pataliputra. So the present Patna, this Indica gives detailed account about the Mauryan administration and the city of Patna, and it was written by Megasthenes. Indica was written by Megasthenes. He was the Greek ambassador in Chandragupta Maurya's court. He became the ambassador of Chandragupta Maurya, who belonged to Greek. So ambassador in the sense he is a scholar, diplomatic scholar, who was sent from Greek as a permanent representative from the foreign countries. So the foreign country will send some of the scholars to other country to look after the authority of a king. So that is called as ambassador, and sent by Greek ruler Seleucus Nicator. So this Megasthenes was sent by the Greek ruler Seleucus Nicator. And next we are going to see about the Bindusar. He succeeded Chandragupta Maurya. So Bindusar was the son of Chandragupta Maurya, and he ruled for 25 years. He extended the empire up to Mysore. From Patna he extended his empire up to Mysore, which belonged to Karnataka, and succeeded by son Ashoka. Again, Chandragupta Maurya was the grandfather of Ashoka. So after Chandragupta Maurya, Bindusar succeeded the throne. After Bindusara, Ashoka succeeded the throne of Mauryan Empire. And Ashoka the Great. We are going to see about Ashoka the Great. You all know one thing, children. Our national symbols, which represent the national emblem, which have 4 lions at the 4 directions. How it was adopted? How come it was adopted as our national emblem? So it was adopted from the Ashokan pillar at Sarnath. Do you know all that? Yes? Okay, this Ashokan pillar, it was built by Ashoka, from which our national emblem was adopted. So Ashoka was the great ruler of ancient India. Ashoka was the great ruler of our country. So he occupies unique position in world history. He have a unique means what? Different, universal position in world history. And first king to speak directly to people through inscription. So through inscription he will not say what to do. He will directly speak to the people of under his control. And now it's time to test your knowledge, children. The ruler who extended his empire till Mysore in South India was dash. So who extended the empire up to Mysore? Ashoka, Bindusar, Chandragupta Maurya, Seleucus Nicator. So the answer is option B, Bindusar. So after Chandragupta Maurya, Bindusar succeeded the throne, and he extended his Mauryan empire up to Mysore. And now we are going to see about the Dhamma of Ashoka. Let us see what is Dhamma in the upcoming slides. So here we are going to see about propagation of Dhamma, Ashokan edicts, and benevolence of Ashoka. I'll tell you what is propagation. Propagation of Dhamma means spreading the idea. Propagation means spreading the idea of Dhamma. Then Ashokan edicts, the authority of Ashoka, and benevolence of Ashoka. Benevolence means what? The peace and calm minded, the good hearted. So it is called as benevolence. So the good heart of Ashoka. And next we are going to see about the Bindusar. He succeeded Chandragupta Maurya. So Bindusar was the son of Chandragupta Maurya and he ruled for 25 years. He extended the empire up to Mysore. From Patna he extended his empire up to Mysore, which belonged to Karnataka, and succeeded by son Ashoka. Again, Chandragupta Maurya was the grandfather of Ashoka. So, after Chandragupta Maurya, Bindusar succeeded the throne. After Bindusara, Ashoka succeeded the throne of Mauryan Empire. The next is Ashokan Edicts. Image of Ashokan Edicts. It is a royal command or proclamation. It is a royal command or proclamation. It is an important source of valuable information of Mauryan era. So, it is an important source to know about the Mauryan Empire. So, this edict is made by Ashoka, which gives us various information about the Mauryan kingdom. And now it's time to test your knowledge, children. The ruler who extended his empire till Mysore, option B, Bindusar. So after Chandragupta Maurya, Bindusar succeeded the throne and he extended his Mauryan empire up to Mysore. And benevolence of Ashoka, the kind heart of Ashoka. Ashoka stood for policies of universal peace, non-violence and religious harmony. So Ashoka stood for policies of universal peace. Peace means what? There should be no war against other people. There is no discrimination, or we should not fight with the other people. And non-violence, to fight, to beat others, to kill others. So he don't want to kill anybody. He want only non-violence. And religious harmony. He successfully combined kingship with idealism and philosophy. So he successfully combined with idealism and philosophy, and Ashoka's decision of Dhamma Vijaya has no parallel in history. So Ashoka's decision, the Dhamma, so nobody can equal the idea of Dhamma by Ashoka. So his measures earned him a unique place in the chronicles of history. So everybody talks about Ashoka because of his unique idea, unique measure. And I have a question to test your knowledge now. So the question is, Ashoka attacked Kalinga in the year dash. So Ashoka attacked Kalinga in the year 262 BC, 261 BC, 265 BC or 273 BC. Run and check out your books. Read the lines of your book and find out how Ashoka, in which year Ashoka attacked Kalinga. Okay, I'll tell you the answer. I hope some of you would have find out the answer. The correct answer is option B, in the year 261 BC. Now, we are going to see about the nature of administration of the King Ashoka, the Emperor Ashoka. Centralized administration, provincial administration, local administration, municipal administration, administration of Pataliputra, revenue administration and administration of forest. So first one is centralized administration. You all know centralized means what? Nowadays you can see central government, state government, municipal government likewise. Yes, so the same thing. Centralized administration means for the whole empire, for the whole regions which are under the Mauryan dynasty. Next one is provincial administration, the state level. The states will be divided and given to some subordinates of the king Ashoka. Next is local administration. Those subordinates will divide their area to and given to some of their subordinates to look after the local regions. And next is municipal administration, that is for village level administration. And administration of Pataliputra. Pataliputra was the capital of Mauryan Empire, and we are going to see about that, how the administration was there in Pataliputra. Next is revenue administration. Revenue means was what? The tax. About tax. And administration of forest. How did they administer the forest? And benevolence of Ashoka, the kind heart of Ashoka. Ashoka stood for policies of universal peace, non-violence and religious harmony. So Ashoka stood for policies of universal peace. Peace means what? There should be no war against other people. There is no discrimination, or we should not fight with the other people. And non-violence, to fight, to beat others, to kill others. So he don't want to kill anybody. He want only non-violence. And religious harmony. So let us see about the Chandragupta Maurya. So in Chandragupta Maurya, we are going to see about Chanakya and sources of Mauryas, how the Mauryan dynasty formed. And I have a question to test your knowledge now. So the question is, Ashoka attacked Kalinga in the year dash. So Ashoka attacked Kalinga in the year 262 BC, 261 BC, 265 BC or 273 BC. Run and check out your books. Read the lines of your book and find out how Ashoka, in which year Ashoka attacked Kalinga. Okay, I'll tell you the answer. I hope some of you would have find out the answer. The next, you can see the flow chart. Provincial administration of Mauryan Empire. So first is Uttarapath, second one is Avantipath, Prachiapath, Dakshinapath and Magadha. So these are some of the regions, the central provinces. Magadha with its capital at Pataliputra was the headquarter of the entire kingdom. So Pataliputra was the capital and Magadha was its headquarters of the entire kingdom. So these are the 5 provisions divided in the Mauryan Empire. I'll repeat it once again. The 5 provisions of Mauryan Empire was Uttarapath, Avantipath, Prachiapath, Dakshinapath and Magadha. So you can see in the map the Mauryan provinces. Uttarapath is Taxila, which is near Jammu and Kashmir, and next is Ujjain, that is Avantipath. Next is Swarnagiri, which is Dakshinapath, and Pataliputra, which is Magadha, and Tosali, which is Prachiapatha. So these are the other names of the 5 provinces. And Taxila, it is the gateway to northwest including Central Asia. Ujjain lay on route from north to South India. The merchants, traders and officials inhabited the cities of the provinces. So let us see about the Chandragupta Maurya. So in Chandragupta Maurya, we are going to see about Chanakya and sources of Mauryas, how the Mauryan dynasty formed. And I have a question to test your knowledge now. So the question is, Ashoka attacked Kalinga in the year dash. So Ashoka attacked Kalinga in the year 262 BC, 261 BC, 265 BC or 273 BC. Run and check out your books. Read the lines of your book and find out how Ashoka, in which year Ashoka attacked Kalinga. Okay, I'll tell you the answer. I hope some of you would have find out the answer. Then administration of Pataliputra. So Pataliputra served as the capital of the Mauryan Empire and it was directly under the control of the emperor. So it was directly under the control of Ashoka. And 6 boards looked after the municipal administration, and the emperor's court at Pataliputra served as the highest court of justice. The emperor's court at Pataliputra served as the highest court of justice. Next is revenue administration. The taxes was also collected and it was on the regular basis, and tributes were another important source of revenue. Tributes included blankets from northwest, gold and precious stones from South India, and trade and commerce carried on hassle-free. Next is administration of forest. The people in the forest regions were more or less free. All the people in the forest were free. So they had to pay tribute to the empire. So they have to pay tribute means what? Do respect the king. And tributes included elephants, timber, honey and wax. Next is India after Maurya. So after the Mauryan kingdom, what happened to India? So the decline of Mauryas, how the Mauryan kingdom was declined, that is stopped, and northwest regions, western regions, southern regions and other developments. First is decline of the Mauryas. the Mauryan Empire collapsed around 2200 years ago. So before 2200 years ago, the Mauryan Empire was declined, and the last Mauryan ruler was Brihadrath, who was killed by Pushyamitra Sunga, and several new kingdoms came up in place of Mauryan Empire. So after the Mauryan Empire, it was divided by the several new kings, and the Sungas were followed by another dynasty called Kanvas. So these Sungas who defeated Brihadrath, who was a Mauryan ruler, and at last those Sungas were followed by another dynasty called Kanvas. So the Sungas was defeated by Kanvas. So you can see the picture of Sunga masculine who belong to Sunga dynasty, which is the 2nd to 1st century BCE, during the 1st century. Next is Northwest regions. So Indo-Greeks ruled northwest and parts of North India. So the Indo-Greeks, some of the people of India and Greek were ruled the regions of northwest and parts of North India, and they ruled for 100 years. Indo-Greeks were followed by Shakas. Shakas were of Central Asian origin. So these Shakas belong to Central Asia, and they set up kingdoms in northwest, west and northern India. So you all know the sub-directions, right? Northwest, north, east, yes. So they set up the kingdom in northwest, west and northern India. The Vedika pillar with Greek warrior Barhat. The year is 100 to 80 BC. You can see the picture of a warrior. So we are going to see about the western regions. So the Satavahanas were the rulers of western India. Shakas ruled over the parts of western India. They fought various battles with the Satavahanas. So the Satavahanas were the rulers of western India. They were ruling the west side of India. Shakas ruled over the parts of western India. Some of the parts were ruled by the Shakas in the western regions. They both fought each other. They fought various battles with the Satavahanas, and Satavahana rule lasted for 400 years. So till 400, Satavahanas were ruling the western regions of India. And another more powerful rulers were the Vagatakas. So these were the different people who were ruling our country. For example, Satavahanas, Shakas and Vagatakas. Next is administration of forest. People in the forest regions were more or less free. All the people in the forest were free. So they had to pay tribute to the empire. So they have to pay tribute means what? Do respect the king. And tributes included elephants, timber, honey and wax. Coins and inscriptions were the important source of information about these states. So you, by seeing the coins and inscriptions, you all know writings on the hard surface about the king. So by seeing all that, we can go through the old records of the king. Some of the other developments are, simultaneously various other developments also took place. Ordinary men and women played important role in these developments, and agriculture was also developed. New towns came up as center of craft production and trade. Craft production in the sense the handmade products like different furnitures, toys, all the handmade things come under the craft production. So new towns was also developed during the period of Mauryan age. and new land and sea routes were explored by traders. So after the Mauryan decline of the Mauryan era, new land and the sea routes for other continents was also developed, and new buildings were built, books were written, and scientific discoveries were made. Different books were written and scientific discoveries, for example discovery of Newton's law, discovery of electric current likewise was also developed. The scientific discoveries were also made. So we came to the end of the session, children. I hope you would have understood how Ashoka became a great emperor, and his Dhamma, that is the Dharma, which comes under the non-violence and ahimsa, taught people a good manner and the kind-hearted person. And let us see the brief recapitulation of this lesson. Chandragupta Maurya established the Mauryan Empire by overthrowing the last Nanda ruler, and Ashoka was the greatest ruler of all Mauryan rulers. He embraced Buddhism and helped in the propagation of the religion. Mauryan rulers maintained a good provincial and local administration. The last Mauryan ruler, Brihadrath, was killed by Pushyamitra Sunga, and decline of the Mauryas led to the emergence of Satavahanas and other southern kingdoms in South India. So let us see different words and its meanings. So first one is Digvijaya. It means conquest of territories. In the movie Bahubali, you would have heard what is Digvijaya. Bahubali is a best example of learning history, children. For example, Digvijaya means conquest of territories. Conquest of territories. Conquest means capturing different territories. And Dhamma Vijaya. In this lesson we studied about Dhamma. Dhamma means Dharma. So conquest through Dhamma in a non-violent manner. Dhamma Vijaya took place. And next one is Mahamatras. They were the officials appointed to carry out administrative works. The Mahamatas or the officers appointed by Mauryan Emperor Ashoka to carry out the administrative works. Then Mahamatas, a class of officers who served as ministers as well as high ministerial officers. So the insight means more about the particular lesson. So the most modern Indian scripts have developed from the Brahmi script over hundreds of years, and Ashoka's Dhamma did not involve worship of God or performance of a sacrifice. So to become a king, the Ashwamedha sacrifice and different sacrifices to the fire god, the Yajna, was not promoted by Ashoka. So Ashoka's Dhamma was only through non-violence, and Ashoka instructed his officials to read his inscriptional message to those who could not read it themselves. And Kalinga is the ancient name of the modern coastal Orissa. Chandragupta Maurya is known in Greek sources of Sandrakotos. So let us see the timeline of this lesson. See, first one is the Mauryan Empire established in the year 323 BC by Chandragupta Maurya, and in the year 305 BC Chandragupta defeated Seleucus, and in 273 BC Ashoka ascended the throne, and after Bimbisar Ashoka ascended the throne. And in 261 BC Ashoka's Kalinga invasion. So the battle of Kalinga took place in the year 261 BC, and in 250 BC the lion capital of Ashoka was established. So this is the timeline of this lesson. So I have a video about the Mauryan Emperor Ashoka, children. Watch the video till the end and also watch the theory part of this video. Have a great day, children. Thank you all.